So, in the shower, here it is, what is this, May 15th, 2022? And of course, we wake up today and see all that's going on regarding Buffalo and all of that. And I got thoughts about it or whatever. It's a lot to take in. That's why I'm honestly not trying to really take it in. I don't know the intricate details. I know, of course, what the media putting out there. I know, dude had a manifesto planned out, calculated exactly, what he was going to do. But it always takes me back to my own community, my own so-called neighborhood and surrounding and stuff. And even, my own, what I used to consider loved ones, bloodline and stuff like that. Like, honestly, I just be feeling like they can be just as calculated. They just don't really have maybe they don't have the access to the weapons and certain stuff like that, or artillery that this person had. But they can just be just the same, and it's quote-unquote supremacy in that as well. People feeling superior to you, thinking you're inferior, and like they think they can bully you and probably if they could remove you or whatever the case may be. Some people don't have what they call heart to do it, but some people ain't no telling. Some of them, honestly, I truly feel like at least 2 or 3 of them might have the balls or the heart or whatever to do it. But yeah. So with that said, I just like steer clear because it's just not worth. It's not worth it, like, to me. I just have the thoughts of that. I know a lot of people say that. Well, a lot of people see that those. Some of them was like old. I don't know all the victims or whatever who's been lost. But some of them was like older. So the elder people, whatever. And I was honestly taught you live by the gun, you die by the gun. So I don't know if these people, owned or possessed guns or whatever, and maybe in their earlier days or childhood days, maybe they, you never know if they've engaged in something that had to do with, somebody else being killed by a gun or anything. I don't know. I'm not saying that. I'm not putting that on them. I'm just saying it. I'm just throwing it out there because that's what I was taught. And a part of me believes it. Like, it really just at least sounds right. I don't know how true it is, but I know the Bible says something, you live by the sword, you die by the sword, or something like that. Or in some instances, you can die on the enemy's gonna die on their own sword or fall on their own sword. But I just look at it in a different type of light, and like I said, I come back to my community, and I just be feeling like these people for one, I've seen God respond, whether allowing somebody to be snuffed up out of here, or or literally taking them out, removing them, because he's God and he can do that. He can do that, he can allow that, or whatever. But I mean, it don't matter who want to debate or whatever, because we all was created by somebody else, conceived by 2 people, but we was created by somebody much greater than us. So take it how you want. But and I do think I guess it don't matter today, but just because it's Sunday that we wake up and this is what we're talking about, it just bothersome a little bit. But I'm telling you, I go back to just thinking about how some so-called elders, older, especially females, but some of the males too, I can name some males as well, but definitely females have done me. And I seen that I guess it was mostly females got killed in that. And then there was, of course, the black man, the security guard. But just including all so-called elders, they've had a childhood and a past before. And, sometimes people did things, and it could be heinous things or whatever in their childhood. And they grow up and think, hey, I got away with it or whatever. Or they might not even be thinking I got away with it. They might just be waiting for the day, like, oh, this is going to come back on me. Everybody speaks about karma. I don't do karma, but I do believe in sowing and reaping. I believe that karma and sowing and reaping is totally different. But yeah, some of them could be waiting on that day. Some of them could just be living and they just totally forgot. Hey, I did this, baby. That's one thing about me. I ain't forgot certain things. I didn't necessarily do certain things to people, but I did things and it upset people. Now I'm at the place where I've said things and people get in their feelings and, you know, and turn petty. And that's the point I'm trying to make. Like, people, if people done such petty things to me, petty, mean things, just because I speak with authority, or, you know, I'm not scared to speak up and stuff like that, I just, and their feelings got hurt, I just can't imagine. And then, yeah, they responded with calling the cops or something, just something like that. I just can't imagine the evil-spirited and mean-spirited things that have entered into the mind of a lot of these people, you know, and they feel justified on how they respond or whatever the case may be. But, and they may, and some of them may be trying to, they're older and they may be actually trying to get their life right with God and stuff like that. And after they done lived like hell, you know, in their younger years. Me, I've tried not to live like, I've done some hellish things, I'm sure. But I've just, and definitely, we all sin and fall short of the glory of God, but I just have tried not to purpose to live like that. Whereas I've seen other people, they just naturally respond like that. Some of them just naturally choose to live like that, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's ignorance or whether it's just deliberate, hey, I'm not going to get this together until I feel like it. Knowing that we don't even, tomorrow is not promised. But anyway, that's all I can say regarding this whole mass shooting. Well, it's been more than one mass shooting over the past couple days. I just go back to some of the ones, and I can specifically say evil things that have been done to me, calculated type of things. Like, literally they set up and planned and knew how the stuff was going to take place, and probably just replayed it in their mind. This is what's going to happen, and this is how she's going to respond, and this, that, and third. And of course, after they watch your responses and they wait, oh, and this the way I'm gonna be able to get away with it, because I'm gonna throw rocks and hide my hands. And me personally, I'm like, Lord, I always go, I don't want to say resort to, I always just go to God. You seen, you know all the details, you know what truly happened, what truly took place. Be in the midst and let it be done according to your will. So, I don't know, I was just talking to my sons about it, and I was like, I don't know if this may try to spark some type of retaliation, some type of insurrection type stuff, you know, because people do look at it as the surface, as, you know, this is a racially motivated, and that's what the enemy wants people to do. He wants them to continue to know and feel like and believe, oh, this is racial thing. It is, but the ultimate thing was that it was a act of hatred, period. They keep calling it a hate crime, but it's not just about skin color. It's hatred for the things that God created and the way that He designed things to actually work. And the enemy definitely don't like that peace. And like somebody said, the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. So, you know, he hates what's going good that God has done. And I'm not going into no preaching or nothing like that, but this is just my understanding of things that be taking place. But yeah, I've seen what people have done. Some of them done it in a subtle way, and I'm telling you, think they get away with that stuff. And I didn't even necessarily ask God. I don't recall asking God, should I say, to respond on my behalf. But I got to a point where I did start saying, Lord, respond on my behalf. Vengeance is yours, it's not mine. You know, again, you know the details. You know why this person did whatever mean thing they did to me. And you know how I should respond to it. You know, if you can think quick enough to be able to submit that to God like that. But yeah, you know how I should respond to it, or if I should just leave it alone, if I should pray about it, if I should, you know. So, I definitely pray for the minds of the people who were affected by this, who lost their loved ones, You know, because you never know if they could be thinking at this moment, okay, it's time for retaliation, this and the third. Of course, they're going to have the grief, the sorrow, and all that of losing their loved one. But what they're going to do after all of that, like, how they going to respond? And part of me be feeling like, oh, y'all damn near justified to go out here and do what you got to do, handle your business. But that's my feelings, and I don't try to let my feelings dictate. And especially them emotions, baby. You get in them emotions, it's a done deal. It's a wrap unless you pull up and, you know, divine intervention. That's one thing I do pray for, divine intervention, if anybody decides to try to act in retaliation or something otherwise that I'm not naming here. Cause man, it's not, we can't even say, can we all just get along anymore? You know, people should know better, of course, during these times. People should be raising and teaching their kids to get along with people and stuff like that. But you still got to have, you know, you cannot exclude God. You got to have God. You got to have the presence of God. And I was about to say, I dare say, but I need to say, you need to have him as a priority and seek him first. And that's just what all people, all colors, all races, and seek him first on how we should be dealing with each other, interacting with one another, his other creation. But I know it's a lot of madness and stuff surrounding this. I see some comments. I see a whole bunch of people that's, of course, grief-stricken and just kind of the shock factor. But this stuff has been going on since the beginning of time. Sometimes it just haven't been shotgun weapons or AR rifles or stuff. It's been other stuff. It's been bare hands. It's been words that can try to kill people. But it's a whole lot of bullying and stuff, and not a lot of integrity and not a lot of accountability going on. But we gotta first be accountable to God. We gotta first be accountable to God, ourselves, and then, you know, the close ones, the loved ones that we have around us. He gave us a conscience for a reason. He helps us to know how to interact with one another. We all walking, you know, not no shots to anybody who are missing limbs, but we all mainly was born with all same limbs, two legs, 2 arms, 2 hands, you know what I'm saying? All that, 2 eyes, all that good stuff. So for us to feel like we're so diametrically opposed to one another, like somebody is so much more superior. And then I seen a point being made today that somebody said they spoke on this like last week about white people realizing that they will be a minority by 2045. And I already believed that. I never believed that black people was a minority anyway. So I don't, you know, and I don't know where they get that information from. I don't know nobody that has went around the world and counted up everybody. I know we take census and stuff like that, but I don't know nobody that has literally went around and counted up everybody and been accurate. Only God knows. I don't even know if it's 7 billion people on this earth, like they say. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't know. I just never felt like, I never wanted to consider myself a minority when people say that. So it's already a done deal that they're not a majority. Yeah, that they're not a majority. I'm not saying it's equal, but I guess I just want to take those categories away. Minority and majority, like that's already just letting you know. That's like programming, putting that in your mind that, oh, we're the majority, so we rule. But God got something for that. But then also just the fact that my son have encountered something recently regarding stuff like that, regarding hate. It started as just words, and it definitely is moving me to take some kind of action where I wasn't going to, but I'm just going to take the action that I can take on the level that I'm going to take it on. And yeah, just involves me doing reviews and posting and stuff like that, which I have no problem doing. And I guess before I was not like awakened to that, because that's part of accountability. You know, you hold people accountable. Some stuff you let it slide. And this happened in December, and I didn't notice it until now. I thank God I noticed it, you know, eventually, but it still shouldn't have got away from me for that long, you know. But God's timing. So I'm gonna post the thing, these screenshots on a certain website, well, wherever I can review it at, and I'm going to make it known, because this could be another homegrown type terrorist in the making. And, you know, I mean, this person felt okay to express this to my son. He didn't really direct it at him, but he was expressing his feelings. And I don't know, so, you know, you don't know who's on the other side of these games or whatever, but the administrators can find out if they need to, or, you know, they can shut down these things, so shut down their pages and things like that, so that for one, they can't spread hatred. They can keep that hatred right over there with them, and, you know, maybe potentially stop this from happening again. And didn't know that that much power was really in my hands, my court. But hey, it's there. You better do something with it. You better utilize it, better respect it, and better be glad that God, you know, showed you stuff. So I gotta get up the strength to be able to report this, and really I can let my son do it, because it was directed at him. I mean, not directed at him, excuse me, but it was referenced in a conversation with him. But I don't know, as a mom, I just feel the responsibility, like, let me go ahead and get this done properly. And of course, as usual, whether you're absent dad, absent-minded, I still put the responsibility still on their so-called dad. Their so-called dad told me that if I get child support from him, then I wouldn't get no more help. That's on him, because, baby, I don't think God relieves you of your responsibility just because you feel like you can make a payment and you can go in somebody else's household and lay up and play stepdaddy or whatever it is you do. You know, and I'm not really trying to take no shots at him, because this definitely is not about him. But when stuff like that shows up, when there's a issue to arise, because I do, of course, he's not here for me to compliment, but I do speak as far as him contributing. But especially when there's an issue to arise, and they got your blood running through their veins, and you know somewhat of how they might think and feel and this, that, and the third, because you had parts in conception and you're not willing to help. That right there is evil to me and within itself. It's like you're turning your back on your own. So before I get mad at some white people out here gunning down somebody else or whatever, I definitely got to feel a type of way, if not more, regarding the absent type ordeal that be going on here, you know, that shows up at home for me. I gotta address that, and got to, I mean, and you can't just address it on one day and then it's over. No, I'm addressing that on a daily basis, being that his mindset have not changed, and I don't want him to come back to me. But I don't know if his mindset has changed as far as having some type of natural affection for his children, besides just making a child support payment, because you feel so bothered by the mother who, I didn't make you, you know, for girls they say, I ain't make you open your legs, I ain't make you do nothing you didn't want to do. So you're going to have to take accountability for yourself, and even if somebody taught you or made you feel like that was okay, that was raising you or rearing you, then you got to take that up with them. Then you take that up with yourself. Of course, you take it up, you ask God to shed the light on it for you. God, how did I get in a situation that's not favorable for me, that I don't really like so much that I wanted to walk away from it? That's what you got to start. You got to start at the root. So that's why I can't say too much about that whole thing or whatever, because I don't know them people. I don't know their past, their history. I know they do like to bring out background checks of people and, you know, post mugshots and stuff like that. But, you know, and I'm not really opposed to that, but just some of the mugshots is like for my example, I got mugshots because somebody just simply decided to allege that I did something or press some type of charges on me. I don't have mugshots because I actually did what I've been accused of. So that is the tricky part, and that's why I'm like, Lord, let it be done according to your will on this day and every day. But I don't know, man. It's wild out here. I'm not liking it. I'm not liking that. I really don't, you know. I was trying to take that stuff in, but it's not meant for me to take all that in, because if I was to take all that in, then you are taking in that grief and, oh God, the sadness and the quote-unquote seriousness of that whole mass shooting situation. Then you gotta consider the boy on that end. Some people are already saying and trying to write it off as if he has mental health issues when he already said, I don't have mental health issues. I mean, people can say that and still have them, but he's like, I don't have mental health issues. I'm planning this out. We're not gonna chalk this up to that. I'm doing what I'm doing, and it's deliberately and it's intentional. So, and he's not the only one out here like that, and he's not just because he was white. It's not all white people. Granted, some tend to think that it originated, the evil originated in them. I don't know. I haven't got to the bottom of that, and I haven't been trying to. God will and shall reveal, I believe that. And it does look like that. But I'm telling you, the enemy can deceive and he can make it tricky. He can make something appear like something and it's totally not. And it might very well be the opposite, to be honest. And I'm not saying that to start, for people to start thinking, oh, this is a person that has self-hatred and this, that, and that, because that's what people do. Absolutely not. I've had some self-dislike and stuff like that, but baby, you're not finna find no hatred on the inside of me. I love my, and I love my skin color. I'm thankful I learned to embrace it. Younger, I felt a different type of way because we were being programmed, but I learned to, okay, I came from this set of parents, they're this skin color, and this is what I got. Thank you, God. It is what it is. Now allow me to live it out how you designed and intended me to live it out. But it very well may be the opposite. Some other people might have hatred, and it might have just developed after, of course, all the slave movies, all the slavery stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that can be some deep-seated type of emotional stuff going on. But I'm not going to make excuses or anything, but I'm just saying, the Bible that I read, it tells you to examine yourself. See if you are still in the faith and things of those nature. It goes over examining yourself more than just that instance. So, I don't know, just some stuff for people to consider. I'm not making this video to try to bring attention. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to title it, and I almost thought about like an attention grabbing type, but I'm not trying to do that. I'm really trying to just put definitely my opinions and stuff out there, but put some things out there for people to think about and consider. Because people see it when it happens. You didn't see everything that went into it, not just his end, but I'm talking about the people that even got killed. You don't know if some of these people walking around out here got passed, like a true pass, and they never, like they say, people is in prison and jail that's innocent. There's people out here that's guilty. So let's just, and I always said, if they could do manipulation as a crime, baby, a lot of people will be caught dead in their tracks or be, they'll be caught early. So they won't get to the other stuff, but people can take it how they want and do with it what they want. Me personally, I just at least think about that end of it and just say, hey, it's definitely deeper than the surface, and especially when I didn't really feel nothing at a surface level. Like I looked at that, and I even looked at the full video that took the whole video down, and that's, baby. Seeing that with your natural eyes, that ain't nothing you want to see. That ain't nothing you want to witness. That ain't nothing that me personally, I don't know, some people might want to witness that. But me personally, I don't want to sit out here seeing people get killed like that with them rifles. And of course, it had the N word at the on the barrel and stuff like that. But I don't want to see that. But I also didn't want to see when somebody over in this neighborhood that was speaking of the N word, the other N word, calling my kids some nappy head MFs. You know what I'm saying? I mean, nappy head is one thing, but because I'm not even gonna go there, but the MF part, like you calling you're not calling my kids nothing uplifting and encouraging. You calling them something that you're trying to speak a curse over their life. So that right there is kind of, I won't say it's worse than a gunshot, but it's similar to a gunshot. It was a verbal shot, and it could have been an AR spiritual, you know what I'm saying? Because it was definitely intended to get me up out of here, because I definitely responded and reacted, and I was pissed off and I was bothered, especially in a moment. God still watched over me, so he didn't allow it to go wherever he thought it was going to go, and that's when he just showed me, you see, it's evil people out here, and it don't matter. And for me personally, it's been mainly this skin color. So what if I just continue to grow up and mature and think, oh gosh, all black people are like this, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not doing that, because I know that it's evil, and it's a seed that's been planted. It's not really a quote unquote skin issue. And like they be saying all skin folks is not kin folk. I like that saying. That, and I like it's not a skin issue, it's a sin issue. I like those sayings way better than anything else. But I feel like some people be trying to get me to be like, no, it's this or whatever, and you're just trying to be in denial. I do hope and pray that God reveals to me, whatever truth I'm missing. But the times that I've went to him personally regarding anything, regarding racism and stuff, he's told me the same thing. And whether he's just telling me that during that time, and maybe it ain't a time to be concerned for me personally about that, even though I see this stuff on the news or whatever, that's just what it is. It might come at a later time. But he's told me focus on it being it's a sin issue. It's not that it doesn't manifest as a skin issue. Because I do see that. I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna front. I seen even the little boy with the whip and stuff going people's door and stuff, little white boy, and baby, I feel like I do know who to allow that stuff to happen to, and whatever. Show up at y'all door with a whip, baby. Like, oh, y'all see this? Y'all know what's you know what's gonna happen. You know what's coming next. Let me go ahead and get this. Gotcha. But yeah, y'all see this whip, and this is a little boy doing this whip to grown people, a grown person's house, and didn't barely budge when when the lady of the house addressed him. Then his dad was quick to pull out. I seen all that. Dad was quick to pull out a gun for the dude stepping on the vine. Dude seen what it was when the dude was being petty, like, "Oh, you stepping on my vine?" Like he could have literally got killed over what appeared to be stepping on a plant, but that wasn't it. It was something else that's deep seated, some type of underlying issue that our eyes would have just seen. Oh shoot, he killed that man for stepping on his vine. And plus, but you'll miss the part where he didn't want to address what was really going on, what was brought to that, the fact that little boy came to the door with that whip, and then he started mentioning, "Oh yeah, yo, something about your son beat up or jumped my son or whatever." And so, you have to see the video for yourself to understand or whatever. I think the boy was 9 years old coming to their door with a whip. It's funny, but it's not. It's not funny. I should say it's not funny, but it is. But it's not. Because I'm thankful that that's not happening over here in my vicinity, and I don't want it to. Like, I want to get. That's why I'm like, can we just get to a place where this does not? I don't want to do the Rodney King. Can we all just get along? Because I feel like it's just so deep that I don't know if everybody's gonna ever get along. I don't know if everybody's gonna ever get on that same wavelength. I really have kind of lost hope and. But because if I can't get on that with my neighbors, then how can I expect to get on that with anybody else that is considered an outsider? Because we're all people, and we tend to respond pretty much the same. We get angry when something crazy happens to us. So my prayers is definitely that the people that have loved ones that they lost, that they develop a mature mindset. Well, in my opinion, to not retaliate and things like that, or not try to inspire any type of insurrection. But at the same time, on another hand, I really do feel like, Lord, of course I always feel like, Lord, take over. I don't want to say that's on the other hand, that needs to be priority, but Lord, take over, have your way. And on another hand, my thoughts is like, they might need a little ass whooping or what. Like, not even just the people that was directly involved, but even people that's even kind of associated with them that might even think that this is okay to be gotten away with. Of course, corrupt people in the so-called judicial system and stuff like that. Because, of course, they was talking about how calmly they arrested the dude as opposed to other people, skin color. But it's too much for me, so this is where I'm going to end it. God have your way. And to God be all the glory, because he's on the throne. I don't know the details. I don't know how he's going to have his way. I don't know how he will sort it out, how it's going to pan out. But to him be all the glory, not us. We can't take credit. I can't take credit. I can just be a vessel that prays and trust God. Right now, God be in the midst regarding Buffalo, New York, and just all over this world. All these states, these 50 states connected. Because I know it's going to be a lot of riffraff, but let the truth come forward. Let it be exposed. Whether it's an ugly truth or whatever the case may be. Now let it be dealt with accordingly.